D's8 asks, is the way you get physical on the street different from in a bar or a club? Yes, the amount that I get physical definitely varies depending upon where I am. For example, if I'm in a club, getting physical is basically all I have. Because she's not going to hear anything I'm saying because the music is blasting so loud. So unless I'm getting physical and moving closer to her ear, she's not going to hear anything I say. So that's already getting physical. And then from there, you dance, which is physical. You hold hands, make out. This is all physical things that happen on a dance floor. But for example, if you're on the street, it's not going to be the same. Street and bar are actually pretty similar for me. I'm not going to be getting really close to her face as if she can't hear me if we're on the street or if we're in a bar, because she can hear me. I usually go about 50-50 when it comes to a street and bar game. Half of me is focusing on getting physical, half of me is focusing on making her laugh. Whereas in a club, I'm focusing 90% of my game on the physical aspect and 10% on the verbal aspect. And that's probably the main differences when it comes to physicality and different places that you are. Playa1986 asks, how often do girls notice the cameras? Do they usually help or hurt your interactions with the girls? Surprisingly, girls almost never notice the camera. We are literally a foot away, and they just don't notice because the girls are stuck in the world that we've created, this little bubble for us to just have a conversation and get to know each other. And as for your second question, it usually just hurts the interaction because a girl, if she sees a camera being pointed at both of you, she doesn't really see that as a good thing. It's kind of creepy. If you feel like you're going out and you're filming and you're constantly getting caught, take a step back. Make sure you don't get caught because that just ruins the interaction for whoever you're filming. Plus Mater asks, was that actually soda or did you have alcohol in the can? And how often do you guys drink when you go out? I find it helps me build confidence, but I sometimes drink too much. In the video, that was actually soda. I actually was drinking, I think it was Diet Coke. Nowadays, I rarely drink when I go out. It had to be a special occasion or maybe someone's birthday for me to drink. Or, I mean, if the guys and I just decide, we're going to go out, no game, just hang out with the guys, that's the only time that I'll drink. The reason is because when you rely on alcohol, it just becomes a crutch. Sure, it does help you build confidence in the beginning, but like you said, it makes you get too drunk as well. And you can never really find that happy medium every single time you drink. If you could, I'm sure everyone would be drinking. But one thing that I've noticed is when you don't drink and you try to game sober, in the beginning it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, it's going to be nerve-wracking, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get because you're a lot more clear-headed and the thoughts kind of just start flowing instead of your drunken mind trying to grasp for thoughts. So the next time you go out, just try it. Go out there completely sober and talk to girls. And like I said, it's not going to be easy, but trust me, in the long run, it'll help your game out so much. Bomberman78 asks, how do you get physical without looking creepy? A lot of girls have looked uncomfortable when I try to get physical with them. Is it something I'm doing? When it comes to getting physical, one thing you have to keep in mind is your own comfort level. Are you comfortable with what you're doing? Because if you're not comfortable with what you're doing, it's going to come off creepy. Because if you feel like what you're doing is wrong, she's going to sense that and feel like, wait, why is he feeling uncomfortable? One thing you may be doing wrong is just not believing in yourself. You have to be 100% confident in what you're doing. You making a move, you holding her hand, you giving her the hug is all going to work. The second you even question for the slightest bit that this may not work, it's probably not going to work. For me personally, every time I try to go in for a kiss, I believe that I'm going to get the makeout. Every time I start walking a girl to another club, I just believe she's going to follow. Until she walks away from me, my brain is still going to be thinking, this is still going to work. I still have a chance. It's still a possibility. Llama Mama asks, should I start using more sexual jokes? And when is it the right time to throw a sexual joke in? I notice you guys do that a lot. I haven't been able to incorporate it into my game. Okay, first of all, there's no perfect time to throw in a sexual joke. You don't want to just shoehorn it in because it's going to sound weird. It's going to come off too try-hard. But as for incorporating it into your game, I highly suggest it. Sexual jokes tend to turn girls on if you use them correctly. Because think about it this way. If you're telling a girl a lot of jokes that are just friendly and safe, there's no way in hell she would get wet from that. So if you see an opportunity that you could throw in a sexual joke and make it flow fluidly, I would say take that opportunity 100% of the time. Leech747 asks, What do I do if she doesn't want to hold my hand? Well, I don't know exactly what the scenario is if she doesn't want to hold your hand. I don't know if it's your girlfriend or if it's a random girl, but I'm just going to guess it's a random girl. And if it is just a random girl, if she doesn't want to hold your hand, then take a step back, just continue talking for a while. Throw in a joke, change the topic for a little while, and then go back to it. Then try to hold her hand again. If she says no again, same thing. Wash, rinse, and repeat. But that's only if she's saying no while she's smiling. Because you got to remember, if a girl says no seriously and she means it, don't push it. That goes back into the creepy side. Cheetos and Cream Cheese asks, is it bad to hit on girls in quiet places? For example, a library or a DMV. I feel it might be awkward because everyone is doing their own thing and I don't want to disturb them. So the answer to that is no. That's definitely not a bad thing. If anything, it's a good thing because most people don't hit on girls in places such as libraries or DMVs. Jesse actually has a Project Go episode on how he hit on a girl in the library. You can check that out. It's actually really entertaining. And as for myself, I've actually done it a few weeks ago when I got called in for jury duty. What happened was there's about 100 people, maybe a little more, all crammed in a room. Everyone was kind of doing their own thing, really quiet, and I was bored. I look over to my left, there's a hot girl. So instead of just sitting there and playing with my phone like everyone else was, I decided I'm just going to spark a conversation with her. And it hit it off really well. She was so bored that she was glad I started talking to her. It was very unexpected, so she was already entertained at the fact that I'm hitting on her in such an enclosed area. And 3, it's very ballsy because most guys would be scared to hit on a girl in such an environment. So to me, in my mind, only positive things can happen from hitting on a girl in a quiet place. That is, if you have the right mindset of not giving a fuck if you get rejected. Protege B asks, at what point can you say that you're a master at pickup? I feel like I'm pretty good, but I don't feel like I'm at your guys' level yet. I don't think you can ever call anyone really a master at pickup because there's always something else to learn. When it comes to pickup, I don't see it as belts in karate, where you can get a black belt and you're a master, you're the best. If you stop trying, then you'll plateau. But if you keep an open mind to any different styles or techniques that come your way and you try them and try to incorporate them into your game, then you can increase your game infinitely. I honestly believe that I'm going to be getting better at game until the day I die. There's never going to be a point where it stops. Like, it's literally going to just keep getting better and better because every year that I've been doing this, I've been noticing a constant flow of improvement. Same with Jesse and Kong. I've never heard them say that, I've hit a point where I'm a master now. I don't really need to try anymore. Because once you have that mindset, the second you stop going out because you feel like you're the shit, that's the point where your game is actually going to start going down. You're going to get comfortable with where you're at, and without continually practicing, there's no way you can stay at the level that you're at.